Hello friends, how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. In today's video, I just wanted to chat about my Sephora recommendations for the upcoming Sephora VIB sale. If you're a Rouge member, you'll get 20% off between April 14th and April 24th. If you are a VIB, you get 15% off from April 18th to the 24th. And then if you are a Beauty Insider, you get 10% off from the 18th to the 24th. I'll have all those details down below for you. These are pretty much the only times I shop at Sephora, and I personally try to be pretty good at just like maybe restocking on things that I already love that I'm running low on, and maybe treat myself to one or two new things. I'm definitely not someone that goes crazy, but I do have some things that I absolutely love that you can get at Sephora that I figured I would share with you in case you're looking to get something new. This is always the time to buy, get it while there is a sale. That's what I always like to do. So I have some favorites to share. Before we get into the recommendations, I did of course film this look. It should already be up on my Instagram and TikTok, and it should be coming to YouTube Shorts soon. And as far as my accessories today, I don't know where this choker's from. These plugs are Love Kills Boutique, and these earrings are from Grateful Life Designs. So yeah, without further ado, let's just hop in and chat about my recommendations for the Sephora VIB sale. So we're just gonna go in the order that I do my makeup. I don't necessarily have something for every single category because I do tend to lean towards indie brands for a lot of things, or affordable brands that aren't at Sephora. So I don't necessarily have every category that's a ride or die for me at Sephora, but the things that I do have, we're gonna go over. Technically, the first step in my makeup routine is brows. And while I do like a couple things here and there from high end, I do just tend to stay tried and true to NYX. I feel like they have really good brow products and they're affordable. So we're gonna scoot right on into primer. Now, I don't know what it is, but I have 4 primers that you can get at Sephora that I'm obsessed with. Hopefully everything that I mention isn't non-existent. I tried to double check everything before sitting down to film this, and I will have everything I can linked down below. Hopefully nothing's discontinued. I tried my best. But I have 4 primers to talk about. I don't know what it is. I just have so many favorites that exist in the high-end world at Sephora, and these are my absolute favorites of all time. Lately, the one that I've been using that I'm obsessed with is the Freck Rich Bitch. This is just so good. It's like a primer serum. It's not super tacky, but I feel like it does have a very nice kind of, I don't know, like adhering base so that my makeup applies really nicely. For the record, I do have normal to dry skin. It's not super sensitive or anything, but I personally do tend to reach for things that give my skin more hydration or glow. And this has been my new favorite primer. I think it's so good. One of my all-time favorites that I'll forever love is the Milk Hydrogrip. This one looks like it's untouched, and that's because it is a new one. I haven't really reached into this one yet because I've been on the Freck one, but this is one of my favorite primers of all time. I've gone through so many of these. I know it's very like hit or miss on if people like it or not. I personally love it. I feel like it gives me the perfect combination of hydration and tackiness to let my makeup sink into the skin really nicely. It's amazing. I'm obsessed. Another obsession, and one that is really exciting that you can get at Sephora now, is the Glossier Futuredew. I'm so excited that this brand is in Sephora now. And this is one of my favorite primers ever. This is kind of like a glowy primery serum-y type product. It leaves a really good glow. This is a good go-to for me if I don't plan on wearing makeup, but I do just want a little something to make my skin look a little more alive. This one is so good. I know some people also will use this to kind of like tap on top of their makeup to give more dew as well. I personally use this either by itself or as a primer, and it's just so good. I love the glow that it gives. And the last one is one that I was using a lot the last couple months. It's the Lawless Set the Stage Primer. This one is just very hydrating. It feels very soft and smooth and just soothing on the skin. And it's, I guess hydrating is just the best word. This is my favorite one for when I'm feeling extra dry. It gives me that boost of hydration, and it is so, so lovely. Lawless is a brand that I've been trying a lot more over the last 6 months. They started sending me some package, and they have some really awesome stuff that I've been really impressed with. Moving on now to foundations. Now, a lot of the time I do skip foundation. I am wearing a tinted moisturizer today, but I do skip foundation a lot. I go straight in with concealer more times than not. But I do have 2 favorites from Sephora that I'm obsessed with. We have the Rare Beauty Skin Tint. Mine is in the shade 20W, and the Urban Decay Stay Naked Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator. This one's in the shade Fair 20. I love both of these. My all-time favorite foundation of all time probably is this Urban Decay one, but as far as like a skin tint goes, this Rare Beauty one is really, really good as well. Both of these are very hydrating, very glowy on the skin. I feel like the Urban Decay one has kind of like light to medium buildable coverage depending on how much you use, and the Rare Beauty one I feel like stays pretty sheer to light depending on how much you use. I just love how glowy and lightweight these are. I love mixing these with liquid highlighters and other glowy products. These are just such stellar, delicious, lovely, natural looking complexion products. Moving on to concealer, I have two that I'm absolutely obsessed with. They're currently my two favorites of all time. We have the Rare Beauty Concealer. Mine's in the shade 110N, and this one is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Quickie Concealer. This one's in the shade 20NN. Both of these are very kind of medium coverage for me personally. I don't use a ton. I just kind of do a little bit here and like maybe a little bit out here. But it's a very nice kind of buildable medium coverage. It's a very kind of natural satin finish for me. I don't feel like either of these are too matte personally, and they just blend under the eyes so well. I don't really have issues with creasiness, but I do set my under eyes every time I do my makeup just because I don't want it to stay super wet under my eyes. But these are such fantastic concealers, super creamy, super blendable. I love them. I've gone through, I think this is my second of the Rare Beauty one. It's so good. Also kind of on the topic of concealer, I'm also obsessed with the Rare Beauty Under Eye Brightener. I did not think I was gonna love this as much as I do. I started using it just because they sent it to me. I was like, I'll give it a shot, like it's fine. Kind of has this cold roller ball at the end. Mine's in the shade Light, by the way. And usually I do my concealer first, and then after I've blended out my concealer, I go in with a little bit more right here, a little bit out here, and sometimes right like on my nose highlights. It's just so good. It blends so easy. This melts into the skin like it's nothing. This also works really well on just bare skin if you want just a little bit of brightness in certain areas. It doesn't have crazy high coverage, so I personally wouldn't use this solely as a concealer, but it's such a good complement to a concealer. It's glowy, it's lightweight, so thin, it blends out so easy. I did not expect to love this. I thought I was just gonna use it for a bit, I'd stop using it, and then I just found myself never wanting to not use it. I actually might pick up another one because I think I'm starting to get a little bit low on this product because I use it every time I do my makeup. It's so good. Did not expect that. This was like the biggest plot twist for me. Moving on, I don't really have any setting powders that I'm like living, breathing, dying obsessed with at the moment, so we're gonna move right into bronzer. I have one powder and one cream that are the ultimate bronzers in my opinion. The powder is my Fenty Into Sun bronzer. It's just so good. I'll do a little bit of swatching now that we're getting into some color products. It's just a really nice kind of natural, slight warmth kind of bronzer. It's not too orangey on my pale skin, and it blends like a dream. By far my favorite powder bronzer probably ever. Either that or the Sigma one, but that one's irrelevant for this video anyway, but I love that bronzer. I bought it for myself, I think last year during the sale, or maybe at the tail end of 2021 if I'm remembering correctly, and I'm just so happy that I own it. Fenty and I have a very like hit or miss relationship on the things that I like from them, but the things that I like end up being my holy grail thing. And then the cream is my Rare Beauty bronzer stick. These are so good. This one specifically is in the shade Power Boost, but I also really like Happy Soul. It's right there. Very creamy. I feel like it looks a little orangey, but it doesn't blend out looking orangey. I'm wearing it right now. It's super just natural warm on the skin. I love the way these blend out. They are so creamy, so easy to use. I tend to use a sponge with these, but I can use a brush as well. It's just such a fantastic cream bronzer. By far my favorite cream bronzer in the entire world. It's amazing. Moving into blush now, I have a liquid, 2 creams, and 2 powders. Now again, this is one of those categories that I definitely feel like I reach for indies more than anything when it comes to blush, but these are the ones that you can get at Sephora that I love dearly. The liquid blushes from Rare Beauty are amazing. This one specifically is in the shade Encourage, but I love all of them. They're just so, so good. Some of them are more matte, some of them are more dewy. I believe this is one of the dewy ones, but they're so pigmented. I usually just do a couple dots and then I blend it out with either my sponge or my brush, whatever I'm feeling that day. A little goes a long way. These are amazing. They blend so smooth on the skin. I don't find them ever like bunching up my makeup underneath. These are fantastic. Next is the blush that I'm wearing today. It's one of the Rare Beauty melting blushes. Again, I love all the colors they've come out with. This one specifically is in Nearly Neutral. It's just so good. Melting blush, I'll always say, it's truly the best name for it. It's right there, because they truly just sink and melt into the skin and blend with the rest of your makeup with such ease. If you're scared of cream blushes, this would probably be the first one I would recommend because they're so foolproof. I feel like they're so easy to use. They're not overly pigmented right off the bat, but they build up so nicely. I've never had a bad day with these blushes. They're fantastic. And the last cream is my Melt Cream Blush Lights. This one specifically is in the shade Polished. It's one of my favorite blushes in my entire collection out of creams and powders, honestly. It's just so good. That bright kind of peachy coral with the gold shift through it. It's everything to me. And these ones specifically, I find that I can even apply after I've already set my face with powder. Like I don't have to do it before I set with powder, and these still somehow blend like perfection. They are so wonderful. These are much more pigmented than the Rare Beauty ones, but just absolutely amazing. They blend with such ease. One of my favorite formulas of all time. Getting into powders now and sticking with Melt. The Melt Buzzkill blush duos are so, so good. This one's in the shade Buzzkill, but there's two different ones and they're so, so pretty. I tend to stick to the darker one or I mix them together personally, but it's just amazing. It's such a beautiful highlighted glowy blush. If you're just wanting that beautiful, radiant, glowy cheek, these are insane. I'm obsessed. And then my next blush is technically not a blush. It's a highlighter, but this particular shade I use as a blush. It's one of the Melt Digital Dust Highlighters. This one's in the shade Genesis. To me, this is almost like the powder version of that Polished cream blush. Like they're not exactly the same. Polished is there, Genesis is there, but they give a similar vibe, like that peachy coral with the gold going through it. It is magnificent. And if you have deeper skin, obviously this would be the most gorgeous highlight in the entire world. But if you're a ghost like me and want to repurpose things for other things, it makes a killer blush. All of these are just so, so pretty, amazing formulas. Some of them I've had for years, like Genesis I think I've had for at least 4 years and I will never get rid of it. Thank you very much. Next up, I can't talk about the Sephora sale without always talking about Freck. I love fake freckles. It's one of my favorite parts of makeup in the entire world, and I've tried many a freckle product, both affordable and high-end, and the Freck one just stays my favorite. I know it's the most expensive option out of the ones that I've tried at the very least, but it's truly just so good. I love the way the product applies. It's just a little liquid on a little applicator. You just dot it around and then kind of use your fingers or your sponge to tap it out, and it just diffuses so nicely. I love this product. I am going to pick up one for myself. I feel like the best time to buy this is, one, get the XL one, not the tiny one, just because you already get a better value for your dollar. And the little one you go through so fast, especially if you do fake freckles as often as I do. But get the XL during the sale, and then it's just the best deal you can have. I will absolutely be buying one very soon. Moving on into highlighter now. Again, I do tend to reach for indies when it comes to highlighters, but these are the ones you can find at Sephora that are amazing. As far as liquid highlighters go, I'm so picky with a liquid highlighter or a cream highlighter. A lot of the time they're just so subtle and like bland, and it's just like not even worth it for me, or they pick up my makeup. It's just a whole thing. But the Rare Beauty liquid highlighters are somehow perfection. They not only apply so smooth and never bunch up my makeup, they also look great on bare skin, and they're also beaming. This one's in the shade Enlighten, and it is just so good. It's really smooth and bright, so if you're someone who likes a bright highlight but not a sparkly one, this is definitely a good one to look for. It's just amazing, and like even when I blend it out, I'll show you. It's just such a good beaming glow. It's so beautiful. I love wearing this on bare skin. Like I feel like the Glossier Futuredew with a little bit of that under eye brightener with this would just give you such a glowy, lovely look without putting any extra effort in. Moving into powders, I love these little Rare Beauty powder highlights that they came out with. I will say mine, when my PR package arrived, they arrived kind of crumbled. I don't know if it's always like that. I don't know if these are just always fragile in the mail, but just be very careful. But I will say it's very worth it. This one's also in the shade Enlighten, just like that liquid. It's right there in the center. Again, just such a smooth, beaming glow. It is so pretty. I feel beautiful when I wear this highlighter. I think it's amazing. And then my tried and true forever favorite, it's what I'm wearing today. It's what I wear a lot. It's my default, but it's the Fenty How Many Carats Diamond Balm. My packaging is like completely destroyed. There used to be like this outer layer that's since completely come off. The inside you can tell is very used and abused. It is just so good. If you're looking for just like sparkly, translucent wetness on the skin, That is exactly what this is. I honestly am debating buying a second one during this sale just because I've had this one for a long time and it's definitely seen better days. So the Fenty one is right there. Oh, you can capture that sparkle. Oh my gosh. It's beautiful. It is magnificent. This is beautiful on the lids as well if you top it on top of anything or wear it by itself. If you're in like low light or at night, it's just magical. Even directly in the sun, it's magical. This is the skin of a killer, Bella. It is so beautiful. Moving on to setting spray, there's only one that I feel like is my tried and true favorite, not only at Sephora, but of all time. I do use other ones here and there, but I always go back to this one. It's the Milk Makeup Hydrogrip Setting Spray. The chokehold that the Hydrogrip line has on me, I don't know what it is, but it's perfection. I'm obsessed. It's so good. I love the mist that the can sprays. It's just so hydrating and refreshing. And I don't personally use setting spray with the idea that it makes my makeup last longer. I do it so that my makeup just looks better. Like it sinks everything in, gives everything a nice like hydrated refresh after applying everything. It's so good. I've used so many of these. Next up, this one I do not currently have, but I plan on buying another one, but it is also from the Hydrogrip line, the Milk Makeup Hydrogrip Eye Primer. I know this one is very divided. A lot of people hate this and they ask me, how do I make it work? I don't have any special tricks. It just works for me. We all have different preferences and opinions, and that eye primer works really good for me. I love the way that it glides onto the lid. It's clear, it has a slight tackiness, and my eyeshadow applies perfectly. So love that eye primer. I will probably be picking up another one. And then speaking of eyes, getting into eyeshadow. Now again, I reach a lot for indie makeup, especially when it comes to eyeshadow. My high-end eyeshadow consumption is basically non-existent. It's pretty much all indie brands, but Melt Cosmetics exists at Sephora. And I love Melt. They're one of my favorite brands of all time. I've never met a Melt palette that I don't like. I love every single one I've tried. I think the only thing I've ever tried from Melt Cosmetics that I wasn't obsessed with was their liquid highlighter. But their eyeshadow palettes, this is a great time to buy them if you're looking at any, just because you get that discount on these $50-something palettes. The She's in Parties is the one I'm wearing right now. It's so, so cute. Just like a grungy, berry, plummy dream. My tried and true forever favorite is the Gemini. Like this, I feel like will forever remain in my top 10 favorite eyeshadow palettes of all time. It's just so good. A grungy autumnal dream. Then the other one I grabbed was the Mary Jane. If you're looking for a smoky masterpiece, that's what this is. It's just so good. I love how pigmented the mattes are. For me, they blend with such ease. The shimmers, while they don't necessarily have like crazy shifty sparkliness, they have a really good metallic pigmented punch on the eyes. I'm actually wearing a different shadow on the center of my lids today. I grabbed a single from something else, but I do like their shimmers as well. I love Melt Cosmetics. I have many a palette back there, but I just wanted to grab a couple just to show you, but I love them. They're so good. Keeping with eyes, I have a couple liquids to talk about. My current favorite like liquid eyeliner to do like just winged liner right now is the Rare Beauty one. It's just so good. I've gone through a couple of these at this point. I love the tip. I feel like it's very smooth and pretty flexible. It's a little large, but it's not overly large. I feel like I still have a lot of control, and the very tippy tip is like super tiny and precise. I love this liquid liner. It's amazing. It's super black. It doesn't move around on me throughout the day personally, and it's just fantastic. And then recently, Urban Decay came out with like liquid liner pen versions of some of their classic like 24/7 liner pencils. I just grabbed this shade in particular. It's called Mucho Mucho. It's a green, but these are just so lovely to work with. They're just super pigmented and glidey. I feel like these are really fun to do graphic liner things with. They don't tug or do anything like that. I have, I think, 9 shades of this, and they're just really, really good. I feel like I was very pleasantly pleased with these because Urban Decay really is doing the most at being boring right now. So I'm happy that they came out with something that I'm pretty obsessed with. Not to mention these don't come off easy. Like this already is like dried down and I just tried to wipe it off and it's not going anywhere. As far as pencils go, again, I reach for a lot of indies when it comes to my eye pencils, but Milk Makeup has some really good eye pencils as well. This one in Outer Space is one of my favorite blacks of all time. It's just so creamy. I feel like it's the perfect black for like smudging in my waterline and a little on my lower lash line and then smoking it out with a brush and other shadows. It's just a good classic black pencil. I'm sure other shades exist in this particular formula. And if you're looking for new eye pencils, I do really like this one. It's super creamy. Personally, it lasts all day. I don't have issues with it fading out of my waterline or anything. It's super good. Getting into lips now, I have some solid favorites from Sephora, starting with some lip treatments. Lately, I've been loving this Fenty Skin Plush Pudding Lip Mask. It's like one of my go-tos when I'm sitting down to do my makeup, just like apply that pretty early on. So it has a lot of time to sink into the skin and kind of get absorbed before I apply lip product, because I don't really wipe my lip masks off before I put a lip product on because I want that extra boost of nourishment. And this one's really nice. I like the applicator too. It's pretty mess free. It's like this, and then you twist the little bottom and a little comes up, and then you can just like grab a little bit. So it's pretty pleasant to work with. I am also so forever obsessed with the Lawless Forget the Filler lip plumping, line smoothing overnight lip treatments. I wear one of these every single night. I put these on in the morning a lot of times as well. It's just so good. It's just this little creamy consistency. This scent specifically is Birthday Cake, but I love the cherry one that I have downstairs. I have another one in my drawer as well. I love these. If I wasn't stocked up on a bunch right now, this is absolutely something I would be buying. I love this product. And then last is this Fenty Skin Lip Oil. This is in the shade Cherry Treats. It's so good. My packaging is like breaking on this because I use it so much, and it's pretty far gone, like I'm running out of it. It has a little bit of tint, but I mean, it's mostly clear. There's like the tiniest hint of like a little bit of pink. It mostly just smells like cherries, and it's so pleasant. I wear this a lot. It's my go-to if, like, say I'm running out the door and I already have makeup on, but maybe my lip product has faded throughout the day, or I just took it off to eat or something, but I want to put something back on, but I don't really want to wear a lip product. I will wear this every time. It's my go-to to throw in my purse. I take this traveling with me. It's the perfect combination of giving my lips some shine and glossiness, but also conditioning and nourishment. It is so comfortable. One of my favorite things in the entire world. I'm debating buying another one of these just because, like, clearly I am getting super low on it. Lip pencils. Rare Beauty has my favorite lip pencils of all time. They're just so good. This one specifically is in the shade Worthy. I wear this one a lot. It's just a good My Lips But Better color, so it works pretty perfectly to just throw on my lips and then use any lip product ever afterwards. But I love these. It's like some of the only lip pencils that I own. I have a couple others, but these are just the ultimate lip pencils for me. I honestly hope they come out with more shades at some point, because even though they have a really good shade range already, I feel like there's some other things they could add to the mix, but I love these. They're so good. Moving on to the rest of lip products, I have 3 glosses, a lip oil, a lipstick, and a liquid lipstick. As far as glosses go, the Lawless Forget the Filler glosses, similar to the overnight masks, these are like my favorite gloss formula of all time. I love the plumping effect. This one specifically is Rosy Outlook, but I love literally every color I've ever tried. It's right there. It's kind of like sheer with a little bit of baby pink. Like, it's not really much of anything, but it's so good. I love that plumping tingle. I feel like they make my lips look so shiny. I am just so obsessed with these glosses. They're incredible. Speaking of plumping glosses, the Fenty Heat Gloss Bomb is insane. This one's in the shade Lemon Lava. One of my favorites in my whole collection again. I love a sheer with gold sparkles, and that's exactly what that is. It's so pretty. This one has more of like a hot plumping sensation, whereas the Lawless one is more of like a minty plumping sensation. So 2 completely different kinds of plumps depending on what you prefer. I like them all. I love a plumping gloss. And then the last gloss is the Fenty Ice. I love this. This is in the shade Cold Hearted. It's just clear. Like, it's just clear. It's right there in the center. And this isn't plumping at all, but it gives your lips a very cold, refreshing, minty sensation. I love that smell. It's so good. So it's a really good combination of like that cold feeling on your lips, but without the plump. It's really hard to explain and kind of hard for me to wrap my head around, but it's so good. Like, probably my favorite clear gloss of all time if I had to pick one. Moving on, Rare Beauty recently came out with a bunch of lip oils. I'm wearing one right now. I'm wearing this one specifically, Affection. I love this. It goes on feeling very thin and very cold. And throughout the day, as that glossy part kind of wears off, there's a really pretty tint left behind. If you've ever tried the ColourPop glossy lip stains, that's a very similar texture, but I will say I do like these a little bit more. They're super pretty. I have all the shades. I just filmed a lip swatch video right before filming this, so that'll be up on like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts at some point. I don't know if before or after this video, but it'll be coming. But I love all the shades that Rare Beauty came out with. They're all super pretty. I went with this one because I felt like it kind of fit the vibe of my eye look the best today. But these are really, really nice. If you want just a really nice glossy, thin, I don't know, comfy, hydrating lip product, this is a good one. Moving on to lipsticks. Now, during my makeup declutter series last year, in my lipstick video, I basically decluttered almost everything except for my Rare Beauty lipsticks. These are just supreme. They're so good. This one specifically is in the shade Humble. It's so good. These are just so creamy, so pigmented, so comfortable. These match the lip liners perfectly. I think they came out at the same time. And this is just forever my favorite lipstick formula. It's smooth and comfy. It's not too heavy. It's like not a true matte, but it's not like shiny either. I feel like it's a pretty good like just satin in between, and it's fantastic. So good. And then last but not least are the Melt liquid lipsticks. I love Melt Cosmetics, like I mentioned, and their liquid lipstick formula is top tier. They are so, so fantastic. This one specifically is in the shade Maya. I'll be honest, I didn't look to see if this specific shade is in stock or not, but I know the liquid lipsticks in general are. I have many shades of them, and this is just the one that I grabbed for this video, but they're so comfy. I love the way they glide on the lips. I feel like something about this formula and the applicator just makes my lips look really good. It is a matte formula, but I feel like even though it dries down matte, it doesn't dry down like cakey, heavy, anything like that. I love these. There's some funky colors, which makes me super happy. And overall, it's just one of my favorite liquid lip formulas of all time. If you wanted an idea of how the lip stain is, like I just took a makeup wipe to my hand and there's still a little bit of stain left behind from that Rare Beauty lip oil. So it sticks around. But that is basically it. I hope I didn't forget anything. I don't think I forgot anything. I feel like these are my tried and true favorites that you can get at Sephora specifically as far as makeup goes. I hope this video was helpful if you're doing any shopping. I would love to know what you plan on picking up. I don't really have like a firm wish list that I felt like I wanted to share because I'm just gonna kind of go based on vibes. Like I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get maybe a new Fenty How Many Carats Diamond Bomb highlighter. I might get a new Milk Makeup Hydrogrip Primer. I'm definitely gonna get a Freck XL. I might get one of those really pretty like highlighters or blushes from House Labs because they look amazing. I might get something from About Face. I'm undecided, but I will do a little bit of shopping. I'm sure I will update in like a vlog or something like that what I end up buying, and then I'll use anything that's new and exciting in upcoming videos. But I would love to know what you plan on buying. If you plan on doing any shopping, I would love to know. I'm personally just a VIB, so I only get 15%, but I would love to know if there's any Rouge members out there. I haven't been Rouge for quite a few years, and honestly, I'm proud of that. I'm happy that I'm not spending $1,000 or more at Sephora every year anymore. But I am excited to see what everybody buys, what everyone is excited about. So let's chat down below. If you made it to the end of this video, why don't you leave some red, black, and white emojis, because that's kind of the colors that encompasses Sephora. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. I'm posting most days here as well. And feel free to join my new channel membership. You'll get a cute little bat badge by your name, exclusive emojis, and access to a members only Get Ready With Me once a month, which will be happening very soon. You can also follow me on my other socials, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. I am battybean on everything. And I thank you so much for watching. And I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye. I don't even know when this sale's happening. I can't start filming this video until I even know what I'm talking about. This one is in the I don't know how I caught that just now.